So, what up? It's your boy Delibi Molitown platform. See? Okay, let me just say Delibi from Molitown platform. And yeah, welcome to another episode of Contrast Podcast. Let me see if my mic is facing the right direction because I always mess this thing up. See, it wasn't. So, yeah. Welcome to another episode of Contrast Podcast. Today, I don't know. We'll be addressing a lot, okay? Investment in the Cameroonian entertainment industry, the challenges foreigners face, like foreign investors face when these two things are in my ear. It makes me hear my own voice and it's kind of creepy. Okay. The challenges foreign investors face when they want to invest in Cameroon, and this possible solution for it, and are we going to address the Brenda Bias drama or problem?
We might just speak on it in passing. For me, she really has not done enough to be that relevant. But yeah, we could just speak on it in passing.
No, just not like she has done enough to be that relevant. To me, her words is exposing a lot, like making her to be like is acknowledging that she's aware of so many things that she has been oblivious about, that she claims she's oblivious about,
Yeah, but we always take our things with a pinch of salt because at one time she's sounding like she understands what the problem is. At one time she's like, I don't care, this is my family. And I can understand this double thing because a very confusing position to be in. That's your father, that's your family when it's all said and done. And there's only as much as you can go against family, and there are certain things when it's said about your father is going to hurt you, even if
even if you guys don't get along.
So I cannot really expect much from her. Even when she says things, I cannot really take it with a certain weight because I feel like, unless she becomes her own person, and by own person I mean like have your own achievements, but as long as it's still under that canopy and under that shadow, I cannot really take her too seriously with certain things.
Okay, so today will be hosted by Delibi and the ambassador. Okay, the ambassador will be representing Chakra TV. So I think we should skip live update, or let's go do live update. The ambassador, live update. How is your end?
I mean, like it has been same, but this week has been kind of slow though. Especially this weekend, I didn't get to do much. And as I said, at times you have that feeling when you are stretched out in a number of things, so you can actually see the direct impact of your efforts till after a while, then everything comes together and then it pops up. So I'm used to certain weeks I'm excited because I'm starting off things, so you can really see things start. But certain week it looks like it's slow because you're in the middle of all of those things and you are not yet having results, but you are still putting in work. So there are weeks like that, and some other weeks it sounds exciting because things are starting up. I just understand that that's the journey, and as long as there's some
journey
growth,
of a businessman or an investor, that's it.
And I'm putting in work. I am excited still, but excited from within, because when you sound too excited and talk a lot about these things, when people are not seeing results, they start looking like this guy is out, he's just making noise. So I just excited.
Exactly. I understand.
Because I know the work I'm putting in and what I'm doing.
I understand. So on my end, been stressed a lot, like not like stressed, more doing so many things at once, and it's having a toll on me. At times it makes me feel like, why do I spread myself a lot? So I'm employing guys now to reduce the load. Like even when I'm talking now, I just feel like that guy's he's tired. He feels, I'm drained, kind of. I'm kind of drained.
But I just feel like that's the journey, as you said earlier. That's just the journey, and unfair avec.
Unfair avec. Okay, so let's jump into the topic of today. The topic of today is let me see. I think I may need my glasses.
So what are some of the challenges of foreign investment in the entertainment industry?
It's a great joke. Okay, Ita. Yeah, we heard. We'll try to hold the fort down. Okay, we'll try to hold it down for you. You know. Yeah.
Yep.
So, yeah. To me, some of the challenges. Uh, yeah. If I want to talk now, I may try to talk from the point of view of a foreign investor or what. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, I think so.
Yeah, because.
Although, I mean, like, even myself, when I'll be talking, I'll talk as somebody who came back and tried to invest,
Yeah.
but more of somebody who's also on ground. And I feel like you have both. You have been both worlds, right? You have been on the ground, although maybe it's been a while, but mostly now you'll be talking from the angle of an investor.
Yeah, foreign investor.
Yeah, you know too what's happening on the ground,
though. Man, that one is tricky.
Not so
because no, no, there's a lot. Okay, I'm trying to compartmentalize it, like structure it, because it's a lot. It's just, when you're dealing with Cameroonians, when it comes to some sort of like stress or restraint or hesitant, you get a lot of those kind of things when dealing with Cameroonians, especially the entertainment industry, the entertainment field. You see a lot of unseriousness, a lot of unprofessionalism. You see a lot of things that make you feel like, man, what the fuck am I doing? Like,
yeah.
But yeah, so talking as a foreign investor, I see reason why some companies, when they come to Cameroon, they just try to attach themselves to the things that already work, or the things that were put in place maybe by the state, the governance, or some structures or agendas that were put in place by the guys who already existed. They just pour their money into it and move forward. And when they do all those things, you see, it brings complaint, like foreign investors just come here and they pour money in this, or they bring foreigners to come and take money, and there's the complaints will come. But when you try to be innovative and get to them, you see there is certain notion that there is certain mindset that becomes the hindering factor of you investing in that industry, which you feel like to invest in the industry and move through the process of building it or get to the point where you start seeing profit. There's a huge mindset you need to break down. There's a huge thing you need to get rid of before, So sometimes I don't blame when foreign companies come to Cameroon and they just decide to boycott. Like, they don't want to go through all that stress of, okay, what works? Okay, let's come close to you. There are certain things which we need to build you on, certain things which we need to invest on, or certain things which we need to orientate you on for you to understand it, accept it, act on it, for it to bring profit. Sometimes it's very difficult to act with Cameroonians on that sense, So, as a foreign investor,
I understand when foreign investors, as in foreigners, have that feeling. But I'm not okay when Cameroonians act that way, though. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, I'm a Cameroonian, okay? But I'm talking now from the perspective of the foreign company, because I'm a Cameroonian, but coming as an investor in the industry, I realized that I still face those things, even though I'm a Cameroonian. So I complain. I'm not even mostly complaining as a foreign company, but I'm complaining as a Cameroonian who is trying to come back as a foreign company and is facing those problems.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah.
There's still. But why do you think so? Why do you think if a Cameroonian is complaining?
So I always tell people, like, for a while, I mean, and I had that problem where I recall when I was done with my master's out there and I was coming back home. Most friends were like, let me say 80% of my friends moved to other European countries. Some went to Canada, the US, and the rest. But I just wanted to come back home. I had some personal reasons, but also I felt like, let me just break it down to you. When I was leaving Cameroon, I was one of those kids who, growing up, I loved basketball, hip hop, and the rest. So I just, in my mind, was just like, till I get out of Cameroon, will I be able to really express those dreams? And then upon getting to Europe, I realized that most of those things we're seeing in 8 Mile, You Got Served, Storm the Yard, that kind of university life and things.
Yeah.
And then the Puff Daddy building the bad boy empire, the Jay-Z Rockaway and Rockefeller things, Rockaway things, have already been done in Europe. So I was watching those things and dreaming of going to do those things there, but actually they were showing me things that they had already done. So there was no room for doing those things again out there. You could only modify some of them or attach yourself to some of those systems, but the system had already been set to an extent. So I just felt like, and I as I told you, I think like one of that social, I said, I personally like to see things grow and things become something. So that was one of my drives in life. Most of the things I study and the things I play around, I call myself a serial entrepreneur. So I like to start things here and there, everywhere. So partly that dream could not go. And that's why I came back to Cameroon, because I felt like, okay, the building has to be done back here. And secondly, after giving a tough, I remember like when we were out that times you face racism, you know, like when you're not in your country, there are certain things that somebody will talk to you in a kind of way you cannot really react because you know,
put up with.
Certain things you just, and then you just are feeling like, you always have that, no matter how long. I remember like once we met this guy, he was a Congolese guy, he had been out there for a while. And most of the time, you know, like when you have been out there like for some 20, 30 years, when younger brothers come from Africa, you start feeling like they are Africans, I'm not, kind of, because you have some of the advantages. And so he was associating most of his time with the whites and those kind of things. So one day something happened.
It's something about all of us. Continue the story, but
and they really messed him up. And then I realized he came now, was complaining to the black community and was trying to mobilize us to support him and look at the racism he's facing. All of us were looking at him like, man. And then that just struck me, like, this guy was married to a white lady. He spoke their language very well. He had money, kind of. He was trying to be involved in their politics. They were always using like the blackface to show that they are not racist in their account and things. But now when he got messed up, he was coming back to us, and I realized, like, man, no matter how much work you put in here,
they will never
be able to claim the work. And they'll always remind you that this is not your place somehow, somewhere. And this whole things of like, I told my friends, like, you see these things, I don't even blame them though, because it's not like they created a certain race before another race, or if any race came before the other, it was our race that came before the rest. So what were we doing when they were building these things? A certain generation in those countries had to sacrifice, put up with the bullshit, put up with the depressions, the Great Depressions, I mean, put up with the industrial revolutions, the hard work, the agrarian revolutions, digging the soil and all of that, organizing things and learning lessons from their failures and trying to build upon it. But for some reason, we as a people never build things, never try to think of the system, the society. Everybody's just looking at, how can I pick up this money now and run? How can my family eat today? So it's even that mindset that makes some of us feel like, let me leave so that I can be fine. But you don't feel like, you leave, you are fine, but what about the rest? What about my people? What about us? When it's all said and done, like, you see some people, they go and stay out there and then they're coming back at 50s. What do you really want to do at 50s? And you're complaining about the system. Who should have built that system while you were out there? So you spent your productive years trying to build out there, and you're coming back here for who to have built what for you. So that's the mindset where I felt like we have a duty to come back and build this, because this is where we are from and this is what we were given. But if everybody escapes, or if we agree unanimously in the world, like Africa will be the farm, then everybody should go and stay out there. They only come and work in the farm and we leave. Fine. But as long as some people consider this home, something has to be done about it. Somebody has to sit behind the scene, plan on those systems, the economy. It's a lot of work, and everybody has to take from different angles. And I always say, like, societal things have to be approached holistically. So once you are pulling the, let's say, your business side or your store side without looking at the social side, the economic side, the environmental side, the spiritual side, the educational side, all of those angles, you always be found wanting, because now you are going to appoint. I mean, and if you even think about it, Cameroon has one of the best laws, but in implementation, we always fail miserably. So at times, I don't even want to bother about the policies and things, because those policies exist, but we always fail miserably in implementation. Because one, I feel like the people are not at a certain level of thinking. We are so focused on our survival instinct, which makes us not to try to be strategic and to be rational, or no, logical. But the keyword is actually strategic. We are not strategic as a people. So that's saying, now boiling down to entertainment, I feel like people expect things to be done, but let's look at stories of the Nigerians and the rest. Nigeria is not too far from us. You can also look at some Asian countries that they were not too far from us, like in the 70s. But they have built those structures. But as I said, everybody just wants to complain. And the sad thing is, almost everybody complaining, once they're given the opportunity where they could have built something, they pick up the bag and run away with the money, or they just make things fine for them and their own. So if I have a Netflix connect, I call my people who are in my clique, and then we become now the Netflix stars, and then we are not trying to put out the everywhere best. Though.
Even here, the Asian community circulates their money among them, the Jewish community among them, the white. It's so only the black community.
Jewish community, but not me, my family, Asian. And my friends.
No, Jewish community, Asian community, but black community. Yeah. Listen, but the black community are the guys who always go to buy in those other communities just to prove that they've made it.
No, but you said it's like that everyone. I was saying, no, it's not like that, because they are thinking about the community. We are looking about...
come back to Cameroon. No, come back to Cameroon. It's a community. If a Bansoma owns a business, you see just Bansoma guys there. If a Bamleke man owns a business, you see just Bamleke man there.
You understand? If you remember, like when I said, I don't even want to think along the lines of Anglophone, Francophone, or Cameroon.
No,
because
everywhere.
We think along the lines of Africa.
Yeah.
No, but economics of scale wise, it does not make sense to think of any policy or any business the scale of just 20 million people. When the Jews think when the Jews think about Jewish community, there are Jews across most of the world, Europe, Ethiopia, and then there is Israel. So that's the Jewish community. It's not that group just in New York or that group just in Israel. It's that community as a people. Chinese is a whole continent on their own. So when they think of the Chinese community, those are the people. When we think of a very minute group, and I feel like that's the weakness we have in Cameroon too. We are so divided that we don't know how to be strong together.
You did not get my point. My point is when these communities start things like when they become successful, if one person in that community becomes successful, right?
Yeah.
They invest that money or they purchase from their own. That's they invest the money in their own community. In their own community means if somebody's having a service or a cloth or a brand who comes from their community, they prefer to buy from that person from their community or from their nationality or from their race. Okay?
Yeah.
But us Africans or blacks around the world, we are the ones who, you understand? We want to buy from the store owned by an Italian like a Fendi or all these ones to prove that we are better than who? Other blacks. You know. And we are the only race that compete among ourselves.
We also try to destroy our own.
That's the thing. We are the only race, us blacks, that try to prove to other black man that I'm better than you. Like you see. And that's the problem.
So back to the entertainment issue, coming to Cameroon, I feel like that's the problem.
Yeah, coming to Cameroon, you come back to Cameroon, right? Take it for example, I decided to say I'm giving 50 million to Cameroonians, right? I'm a Cameroonian. Everybody know me as a Cameroonian. I'm giving out 50 million. But Cameroonians still find it difficult to believe that I'm giving it out because the rate and the amount of people who are actually coming for it are some of the guys who know me like almost close, like personally.
Yeah.
And when the money runs out, or all these guys start saying that they've made, okay, let's just say 10 million, 5 million, 20 million from that money, and they see it's just a small group, they'll say, you've just taken that money and you've given it to your own people. But the
Yeah.
problem is they don't believe that a Cameroonian is actually giving out that money, is partitioning it that way. If it was somebody like, okay, if Francais has come to Cameroon, like a white guy is giving out that
Oh, they
money,
would have known that there is money coming through.
everybody will run close to it to
Yeah.
sign up, register, and make money
I
from
mean,
it.
a white guy does not even need to give the amount. He might just say, "I have something for you guys," and they'll
For
just
you
know
guys,
it's something good,
exactly.
something a lot. Yeah.
Just see, okay, Okanayo just picked up and say he has the latest iPhone. That you guys
Yeah.
have to go and buy a ticket and go for a movie premiere. The thing was shared, everybody was talking about it. Everybody is buying tickets to go and watch that movie just to win an iPhone. One iPhone.
Yeah.
Which that means just one person will win it.
Yeah.
Understand? But 50 million, how many people can afford those iPhones in 50 million?
Out of that, yeah.
You understand? So the whole thing I just made me,
Yeah.
I've just decided to say, you know what? Even if the guys who come for the money are just the guys who I'm close to, even some of the guys I'm close to, some of them still don't take it serious. But the guys who are actually coming for it now, they can grind it all out. They can fill it all out. So that's
Yeah.
just the approach I've taken now, because coming as a foreign investor, even try to open businesses in Cameroon, and there are still things that I'm building that doesn't have to do entertainment. And when we are rolling
Yeah.
that out in Cameroon, I believe what I'm doing now, if I don't figure this thing out, launching the next thing which I'm trying to launch in Cameroon will still face the same problem.
Yeah.
With Cameroonians underestimating a Cameroonian or their own. If I were,
No, but I feel
okay,
like if you look at it holistically, there are a lot
Yeah.
of things that have contributed to this.
Yeah.
So there is that mistrust of a lot of people have come with big ideas and then nothing came out of it, and then they collected people's monies or whatever. And then, like, you know, these cases of once a Cameroonian goes to Dubai and maybe they embezzled his money, he turns back to Cameroon and tells other Cameroonians, like, people should give me your money and come to Dubai. Yo. That's how
all
he
these
does
things
it.
we
So
are
you haven't seen
aware,
from
yeah.
many places. So when you go somewhere, you play the trick on,
Like
let's say, by
this big
Nigerians or other
club
communities.
and all these things,
Come
yeah.
and play the trick back to your own people. Yeah. So
Exactly. So
that's why I was telling you, like, for me, it's a job we have to do, because it's still our people who messed up things to create that doubt. So you have to work extra hard to convince people that there is something real here. Because although you know it's for their benefit, but you still just have to go extra, because if you really want to help them, go all the way.
Because from what you said and even the examples you've given, that's true. If you think about it, it's true. Because there are so many countries that even people travel to those countries, and when they realize that the movement to those countries was like wastage, they'll still advise guys to come there because they want to make money from those guys coming.
Exactly.
You
And
understand?
then they make money, then they go back and leave the other strap there.
Yeah, that's it. But in this case, what I'm doing is, since I come from Cameroon, I've experienced, understand, seen all those things. This one is just like, okay, I'm putting this down. When they ask, because the one question, and I know the skepticism that everybody is having is, okay, you're giving out 50 million. How much are you making? How much are you gaining?
Yeah.
That's one question somebody asked me.
I don't even feel like that's the biggest problem, though. Everybody feels like, one, we know that, okay, Cameroonians will want to eat off their own. So their fear is like, maybe you are making 150 and you're coming to give them 50 off their heart.
Exactly.
For me, I always tell them, like, what is their problem? You don't have 100,000 francs. Somebody's offering you something in millions. What is the problem?
That's not even the point.
Get the 1 million first, and then now once you can pay your rent and your food, you ask me a question now, like, man, I think I deserve more. But first have money to eat and pay your rent.
Yeah, because when they asked that question, they talked about licensing and the rest. I just told them, the first thing is, it goes way back to when I started Molitown Music. I wasn't making a franc from Molitown Music, but the reason I created Molitown Music was to bring everybody, every active person who support Cameroon music under one roof.
Yeah.
So that the up and coming artists will benefit from that distribution network.
That platform belt, yeah.
That was what the reason I started it. I decided to stop it because I had problems with so many artists, like A-list artists, who thought I was making millions off their music.
People always think that, yeah.
You understand? But I had to show my YouTube dashboard and show them monetization is not even turned on. It shows $0 there.
Yeah.
Like, I was just building this community, so because there are so many others who blew up on that platform. I've called those names so many times, and most of them have even confirmed it on that Mulita Music. So many of them
Yeah.
blew up off that platform. So now the reason I've decided to go this route of this, like a distribution website, is because
Yeah.
okay, now you guys can see. You may think I want to make money from YouTube ads, but this one I'm not making no money from the ads. It's still the same thing. It's a platform everybody will benefit from in the long run.
But also, I think like it's one of those symptoms of the bottom pyramid of the Maslow, the bottom segment of the Maslow pyramid of needs, where people are still on survival mode. So they want to see that there is something here before they put any energy into it. So I feel like even more than the fact that they think, what are you gaining in it? They want to see that people actually gain in it. So I feel like if there is some short video or something showing somebody collecting a check of 2 million,
somebody has already
call even your relatives in the village to try to get on board.
Yeah, somebody has already collected a check from it, but it's not my place to tell who that person is. It's the person's personal information if he wants to reveal how much he has made. That stream, that's how much you make from your music,
No, but I feel like
it's not my place to tell them. It's not my place to actually publish it. But if I would just talk to them to publish it, it's not my place to publish it.
Both ways, right?
Yeah.
It's not your place to publish it, but in the bigger scheme of things of getting more Cameroonians making money off their art, putting value into art, it's good for you to talk to him to put it out, and it's also good for him to put it out, because if more people bring in more quality music, then it's a better distribution platform for everybody.
Yeah.
So I just feel like, because I know he might be thinking, okay, people start asking him for money now, people start looking at him that he has money and things. But if you look at the bigger scheme of things, but in the bigger scheme of things, encouraging more people, and if people see that one person has won, it actually shows a check. Like those things we do out there, give it like 5 bloggers. This man has made this much on this platform. He's written there something. People actually seeing that this guy is making money now. Man, people write concours to get on your platform.
Yeah, because if I actually put it out, you'll be like, yeah, there are so many guys, there are guys submitting actually. But let me just say, you know what? It's not, from the way I think of it, it's not really that bad, but it's just like the reaction is not as
big as it ought to, given the magnitude of the problem on ground.
Yeah, but I know, you said it all. But I just believe, because I've done so many projects before, and with time they grow up and they mature and they start becoming what I wanted them to be. I just believe as more people, because some are not willing to put out their revenue or their check, because it comes with a special check and design. You receive some PDF invoice check when you receive it. So I believe the more it goes on, or some of the guys, when they get to that threshold and they receive their payment, there'll be some guys who will be willing to actually put it out without me actually instigating that they should put it out. And another sense too, I think some people don't want to put it out because they don't want more people to come there and reduce the chances of them actually making more in the long run.
But that's why I said, in the bigger scheme of things, if we are looking at the growth of us, not me, we should not be thinking like, I want to keep the door closed so that I can eat all the food in the house.
Yeah, so that's one of the problems. So especially investors, like foreign investors come in. Okay, let's just say a company like a South African company like MTN has come to Cameroon. The reason now they won't want to try to take the approach I'm trying to take is because they know, first of all, you have to convince the public. They have to convince the public. They have to go through even the people who even receive them is the man. The man is the government, the establishment, and the rest. The man will receive them first, and they have to pay the man something to go through. And the man already may have his own infrastructures which he has to go, which he will propose to them, or even instigate to them that you need to use this so that the flow of cash should go through the man to the public. And when it goes down the ladder, it'll be split or cut. That's one of the challenges foreign investors even facing before coming into the country.
I even think also there's an issue of, like, I want to look at a couple of things here. There is this issue of, I think there's this list that usually comes up of countries that are most friendly to startups. And there's a strong correlation between the ranking we have in that and how our entertainment industry is thriving. Because I feel like entertainment industry is fairly new in Cameroon, and somebody referred to it as the baby industry at one time.
No, it's not new, and it's not a baby industry. The industry is
undergoing
a resurgence. It died before. This industry is not new. It's undergoing a resurgence. It's like a rebirth. It's like we lost something and we are still trying to figure out how to get it back.
For me, when we call it an industry, there are certain things which we want to see. We want to see the policies accompanying these things. We want to see the structures, the institutions, the people in it. So it's true we had artists in the past and things, but I don't feel like we ever grew with those structures. So Hollywood and maybe all those Disney things were there. There's an infant stage where they were doing like theater arts kind of things, people performing on the streets. Then it evolved into their studios. Then policies came along. Then professionals came along, and that's how it grew. For some reason, arts did not grow with the structures.
No, listen. It grew, but it got outdated. It was not innovated. It was not renovated. It was not built upon. It grew.
So what structures do we have?
We had, for example, CRTV was being displayed not just in Cameroon, but so many countries, though it was only CRTV, both TV and radio. Okay, we had a distribution network where we could connect to was this African TV station? Is it RTF and France? We had so many distribution networks through Canal Plus, and that went with French-speaking African countries. TV, because we never had internet at that point. So we had all these connections with all these places. That's why you could see an artist like Petit Pays perform in big countries. Even Nigeria, go to Nigeria and have a convoy at that time.
Okay.
We had all those networking structures, like to cross those boundaries to distribute those distribution network structures. But as time went on and these countries started developing theirs, we failed to update ours or renew the relationships, because it's like the structure was changing, the establishment was changing, maybe the personnel was changing. And us as Cameroon, since like right from the government, we decide to keep those old people and old things in place. Those people lost touch with those new things that were coming in place and the innovations that was going on in other countries and other places. So those things lost, like I would say it's like the generational divide with the infrastructure that we had.
Yeah.
It made Cameroon lose it. So right now we are still trying to build those things now from scratch. Though the old one that is in place is refusing to give way to the new one or preventing the new one to flourish. Because if anything wants to come to Cameroon, the thing that is easily accessible are the old infrastructures. And the thing that will make the thing boom in Cameroon is the new infrastructure, because the youth and all these things, that's why it booms in Cameroon. So when it comes and stay with the old infrastructure that has lost touch with a new infrastructure that is trying to have a rebirth or resurgence or trying to detach itself and spread, the communication, that gap in between, prevents the industry from getting to from building to get to the point where that industry, when it was growing in those days, when those guys were still young, when they were building, when they had the same mindset, the same goals, the same notion, the same dreams, the same passion, they grew alongside those other industries, those other people. Now they are old and they get to a point where it's greed now preventing the other people from networking up to that point. But every industry, they have a place of passing over. That's why every industry have a place of passing over, renovating. Media has changed. In those days, like TV stations like Power 105, they were just radio, but now they have podcasts. You see something like iHeart. Now has Breakfast Club and it has podcasts. Like podcasts now is like they embrace and they evolve and they evolve. But in Cameroon, it's very shameful to say the main means of distribution is still TV and radio.
But also, if we are being honest, nobody watches those things though.
That is what I'm saying. Okay, that's what I'm saying. You even see these foreign artists have more impact in Cameroon, in this country, because they go through the internet. Meanwhile, for Cameroonians, like local Cameroonians, for them to get access to the mainstream in Cameroon, they need to go through, like, let's just say TV. And internet, first of all, is expensive in Cameroon, by the way. It's fucking expensive. Somebody will prefer to talk on WhatsApp, send voice notes, than to listen to a series on YouTube or to stream a playlist on any streaming platform.
Yeah.
Understand? Yeah. So in Cameroon, most people, like, you have a car, you understand this. Most people play songs in their cars which they have already downloaded and they have a hard copy of in their hard drive or phones or those places in Cameroon. True or false?
Yeah.
Mostly that's how it is in Cameroon. Even clubs, DJs play from their hard drive or from their flash drives.
I play from my phone most of the time, but yeah, most people, I think that's not good.
Oh, you see, so that's where Cameroon still is when it comes to distribution.
Yeah.
And that's why you see that I understood this and I was trying to detach it from that way. That's why I said the platform, they download the songs.
Yeah.
You understand?
But if you go back to what I was trying to drive at, was like, if this industry, bottom line is that the industry is not good enough, be it starting or be it outdated, it's not good enough. And that's what's reflecting on the results people are getting. And now, if you are, because there are certain things which happen in the nation, I'm like, it's like there's really no body, there's no body, by body, I mean no structure to enforce certain things. I mean, you see how many contracts are being breached and then being thrown into the dustbin, any sane investor would really have a lot of questions before you jump into such a volatile environment.
And that's one thing. There's no entertainment court or entertainment lawyer in Cameroon.
Yeah. Or even just like some, I don't know, like the artist association or something which can come to artists' help in time of need. If somebody goes out of line, that like, you don't go out of line like this, they make sure that, okay, the ethic of maybe the ethical side of things is respected from the government side of things. Just those basic kind of things to make sure there's some order somewhere. But now an investor comes in and can start listing the number of artists who have left their contracts halfway, not honored their engagements when they have been given advance and things. Yeah. Look like the case I think we're going to discuss it maybe later on, or I might just jump into it too. And what Kosi just posted saying that his picture is being used for a show and he's not going to be at that show. It happens a lot. And that's something which is, that's some level of fraud. I don't know the word to use legally, but it's some level of fraud, and it happens all the time. All the time.
It's, how do they call that thing? It's infringement. No, it's not infringement. It's
I don't know if it's impersonation or it's usage a fool. I don't know. But I'm looking for the legal term.
Yeah, I'm also looking for a legal term.
I feel like at times even too, artists even do like the voice, the do those go live and say I'll be at this show, but they know that they'll not be at the show. But maybe if they had to, those are things that happen behind the scene, and still is that mindset where we are thinking of just me. Yeah. So you know that if they have to book you for shows, maybe 5 million, and now to do publicity for the show, the organizers give you maybe 500,000 or 1 million just for you to do a live and say that I'll be at the show. Then 1 week to the event, you come up and say, I apologize, I cannot be at the show. People have already bought tickets to go to that show.
Yeah.
And then now soon, people start having a cold feet. You are only looking at the 500,000 which you are being given. But you don't look at the bigger side of things, of the bigger picture of how many people are you discouraging? And how many people, those people that have discourage others too by saying that these Cameroonians are
next
fake.
Time
even
they
if
will
you
not
see
go
those
there,
pictures on that poster, they will not show up.
Yeah.
And then now, how do they even call it? Is it trickle-down effect? Maybe you have taken 500,000, but you have caused a loss of maybe 200 million in the entertainment industry because of the mistrust. Because in the business world, trust is a very, very critical aspect. Even the fact that most of our online things and our e-commerce things don't work is because of the other dishonest things some of our brothers are doing on the other side. So, but when you're looking at it just from the me point of view of I just won my 500,000, it's fine. But now, I remember I told one guy at taxation when I went to follow my documents, I told him like, you are doing all these things and making life difficult for us. I look at your age, you definitely have children in the university, right? He said yes. I said, so it's just that we are all a very dishonest group of people, and that's why I have the leaders. I said the last time, I have the leaders that we deserve. I said, because if you're an honest person, 5 years down the line, your children don't have jobs. Just shake your head and say, oh, what I did was wrong. That's why my children don't have jobs. Don't start blaming the government. Because it's a company somebody is trying to start. You're not looking at the bigger picture that this company blows up, it's going to employ 5 of my children down the line, or employ some of my nephews, or employ some of my neighbors, and then that's how the community grows. You're just looking at the 10,000 francs that you need now, and you're trying to sabotage all my efforts of the growth of the company I'm trying to build. So partly, you are the cause of why your children will not have jobs 5 years down the line. But everybody does that at their own levels. Everybody does that at their own levels, and we are killing the system. So the artist collects his 500,000 francs, he's good, but he does not look at the bigger side of things of, now what does this tell the consumers who come every day to pay these tickets? That we should not trust event organizers. And now that's why we have a very tough time with organizing events in Cameroon right now, because people come there. I remember the last event I attended, we paid for VIP seats, but by the time we knew, the crowd had marched all into the VIP seats. And you start asking yourself, like, why did I pay almost triple the normal ticket if all of us would be now mixed here? And they run and come in front of the VIP. Now we all have to stand up or maybe stand on chairs and then struggling now to see because the crowd has gone in front of the VIP. So all of those things, which once you have that once, twice, I don't think I've gone for an event again since then. And it's now an uphill task to convince me again to go, because you never have a chance to meet all of those people who were disappointed that day to start telling them, like, no, you know, it's a security man who did not do this. You know, the line broke. You know, you have the chance to meet all of those people. Yeah, and all of those people go back home. And now when my cousins maybe come to my brother, they say, let's go, and I say, master, those people are never serious. Those are 6 customers you have lost out of one person who you treated poorly. And calculate how many people in that hall on that day and multiply that effect. But we don't look at things like that. So that's one side of it. 2, the investors too, when they look at it like, 1, these guys' events cannot sell. 2, the fans don't believe what they say. Investors usually come for what? The crowd, the numbers you can bring. The fans don't believe you, the artist. The fans don't come for events. So they don't sponsor events. They don't give endorsement to the artists. The industry keeps on crumbling. Why? Because you took a 500 francs and then just lied to the fans that you'll be there when you will not be there. So all of those things which we do, and then now that comes to the structures too. If we had the structures there to say, okay, no, do what you are doing is wrong. If you know you are not going to be at an event, don't do any live saying you'll be there. Or if you know this artist is not coming, don't take his picture and put on your poster. There is no structure to enforce that. And you don't expect an MTN to leave South Africa and then come and start writing laws in Cameroon or organizing the entertainment industry. That's not their job. They just move on to the next. We keep on asking, why are they giving this to Nigerians? Why are they giving this to Nigerians? Have you looked at what's happening in Nigeria? And they're asking the question, why are they giving this to Nigeria?
So, like I said, everything you've talked about has just explained the mindset and why it's difficult for investment to take place in Cameroon. So now let's talk about, okay, what's the solution to that?
Yeah, so like I said, before the MTNs will come, I expect the diaspora, out of obligation and out of duty, to bear that burden and then come and then try to build it, because it's always difficult at the start. The MTNs will come with the way larger numbers when those structures are in place and they have seen, like now, people are like, Netflix is not giving Africans a chance. Once Nigerians started doing it, Netflix pumped some serious millions into Nigeria. And now you can see Nigerians have, the quality has improved, everything.
Okay, this is how Netflix function. Okay. Netflix works through, they call these guys curators and distributors, right? If like right now, Cameroon has the potential of sending the same amount of movies to Netflix as Nigeria, because they have a distributor that has come from Cameroon. And that's
my question is,
understand how it works.
There was a time when, I don't know, I read on the blogs where they said Netflix has given some amount of money for Nigerians to produce a certain amount of content and give Netflix?
The Netflix gave the curator of Nigeria that amount of money because
yes. So why are they not giving our own curator too?
No, because we have just one project from Cameroon right now. We never had a link to Netflix.
One? I think we have three.
No, it's one curator that distributed all those movies.
Oh, okay. I thought you meant that you have just one movie. Okay, one curator.
Yeah. He has one
but
curator.
Nigerians have more than one curator.
No, it's the same curator that distributes Cameroon now. Cameroon Kang Quintus went through that Nigerian curator to distribute his movie. Now they have a link now with them.
Yeah, but this lady who put up 2 of Cindy Emade's movies on Netflix, I've forgotten her name.
Yeah.
Is she a curator, or she's passing through the same curator in Nigeria?
Yeah, she's passing through the curator. She's not a curator. I know the company, they call them one something. It's one. In the world, Netflix has 10 curators. Africa has just one.
My other question would be, so are you saying that the money which was given to the curator in Nigeria was for Africa and not for Nigeria?
No, it was for Nigeria.
But that's why I'm not getting it. This curator is representing Africa, right?
He's okay. This how it works. The curator works with chosen producers and directors, right?
Across Africa.
Not necessarily across Africa. The curator works with man no man. The way it is Netflix doesn't have a number. You cannot reach Netflix directly. Okay, Netflix has people that he believes, these people he trusts. Okay, he has a group of producers and directors.
Quality.
Not quality. Relationship is networking. There are so many shitty ass movies on Netflix, but it's because it came through a recommendation. Netflix buys or sponsor movies based on recommendation and profile.
Yeah.
You know, if you're an A-list artist or an A-list director, okay, if an independent filmmaker makes a movie and by some will of God or by some chance that big A-list director stumble upon that movie and like the movie, okay, Netflix, and the guy has a relationship with Netflix has a potential of buying that movie. And you, that independent director, you now have a contract with that A-list guy who recommended you to Netflix. So you can now easily get your movies to Netflix just from the first submit which you did. The problem is getting your directly. Nobody goes directly to Netflix. Even Will Smith cannot go directly to Netflix.
No, you're saying once you have put out the first movie, now you have a direct connect to who?
Through that A-list, through that curator that goes to Netflix. So the man now trusts you. The man now can say, you know what? You can bring 10 movies to me. When you go with him, when you bring 10 movies to him, it is up to him, okay, to decide which of the movies he's sending to Netflix.
Okay.
Do you understand? That's how Netflix works. If not, anybody will just email Netflix and say they want their movie to be on Netflix.
No, but what I was going at was, why did some of that money which was given by Netflix not come to Cameroon?
It was okay. When I'm explaining it, it's like I'm missing some points of the explanation that is bringing us back to that question. When Netflix dedicated that amount, right, to Nigeria, right? The curator in Nigeria, he may have submitted some certain amount of movies, and he said he has this amount of movies that are into work. Like Nigeria has already built the leverage. Let's just say that.
So exactly. So that's what I was trying to say, that we as a people need to build our own leverage, and for that to happen, we need to invest into that art. And I think there was one time, I don't recall the year, where the Nigerian government put in some serious millions into the entertainment industry. I don't see, especially when this guy was vice president. The
Cameroon government has done that too, but not too much. But it has done that occasionally, and the money disappears in the Ministry of Arts and Culture, or it disappears.
Exactly, and then some people go and do their Jean-Michel kind of videos
exactly
in Douala, and then they laugh about it in their house, and they show it in I don't know what
Equinox Canada.
Yes. They get an award and the story ends there. But as I always said,
that's how
still,
Cameroon is.
that is a Cameroonian killing Cameroon, because
exactly.
that
So
money
the
would have
best.
actually served a whole generation to create maybe 200,000 jobs. But you just
Yep.
taking now the 5 of you guys split it, you do your drama and your theater arts on it.
Is
And
greed.
then,
So the thing is, what you're saying is you cannot force somebody to change who they are and what they want to do. That's who they are and that's what they want to do. Okay, I knew
yes,
that.
but
I knew that
I
from the
felt
beginning.
like the diaspora can force things to an extent. One, they are Cameroonians, so they know both sides of it. They have seen a better life out there, but also know the messy situation back here. And they can exist in both worlds. You know, there's a certain level of, I remember like when I just came back to Cameroon, everything is pissing you off. The way people talk to each other, you get into a taxi, somebody just jumps from their farm and gets into that taxi, you're like, for God's sake, what is this? In that same cab, as you are going maybe to like the Douala or something, the policeman is disturbing, the tax people, the road people, everything is just annoying you. If I was not a Cameroonian, the chances that I have gone back would have been very high. But the fact that I grew up in that place, I moved out for like 5 years after that. But once I come back, I start getting used to it again. And before you know it, after like 6 months, it's not that shocking again. For somebody who just came from America, it will be very difficult for them to get used to this because it has never been in them like that. So what I'm saying that the diaspora can come in with that capital, they have the ideas, and then they can be a little more tolerant of the rubbish or the bad things that happen in the system. And if they also come with it as a sense of duty to building back into what gave them what they are. Because some people act like, no, they didn't give me anything. But if you imagine that, like myself, at least nursery school to advanced level, I went to school in this country. Maybe it was not that good, but at least it was something that permitted me to learn how to read and write. That's what I took now to go and study in Europe. But to just claim that everything I got to my studies in Europe is not true. Same thing for most of the people in the diaspora. So if you have that sense of duty, you should be a little more tolerant of the system and that fact that you know they are coming to build something. And once they come back with the capital and the ideas and they build all of these things, then the next can start coming in. It's not going to be a bed of roses. It's not going to be easy. Just have that in your mind.
Yeah.
But just come with that determination of, I will make it work no matter what.
Yeah, so and I understand when you also complain about, you are investing and you're trying to put it and you see that some days you just get annoyed or you just feel depressed that this thing is hooked up somewhere or it's not giving the result. I understand where you say that. Like, I can just say in a sense, maybe you are not similar because maybe you've been outside and you've gone back to the country. And I'm also, because I know all those things happening, you say it's a sense of duty.
You're talking and not to cut you, I'm just thinking of something, right? Yep. I told you about my integrated farm thing, right? So I'm keeping animals and I'm trying to grow crops. One of the animals I'm keeping is rabbits, chickens, and snails.
Yeah.
So I'm just laughing because like last week, somebody just, like there's somebody who is just observing the farm. When we're not around, he comes and steals the rabbit to go and eat. So I'm struggling to build that farm. I'm not eating one thing from the farm, but somebody just comes and is doing his shopping from the farm. And I'm now struggling. Money which I should have put in the farm, I'm trying to add security here and there, put barbed wires here, try to put a fence here.
Even if you put the barbed wires,
I'm just laughing. Like, those are the things which you face. You are trying to build, and someone are just destroying it.
It is Cameroon. That's just how it. Okay, like I understand you. You see, I understand. So to me, and I know all those problems, and I know all those loopholes. That if you come to Cameroon and you give all this money to this place, even on the live video I did, you heard I said it, that if I decide to say I'm investing the money in Cameroon by giving it to a body in Cameroon, it will go nowhere. That's why I decided to say, okay, I'm investing on this platform, spending money to build it, guys who handle, run it, and even the things that will be working, pay all the things that will be distributing the music through the WhatsApp and all the WhatsApp iOS and AIs and all these things, to still give you guys the money, because I'm trying to overcut those structures that are in place in Cameroon that I believe if I give the money to, it won't go anywhere. And no, it is a sense of duty. I'm trying to reach them directly. You understand? But reaching them directly to, you still have a lot which you have to deal with, which is distrust. You have to,
and those are just the things. That's why I said, like,
there's a lot
you have to do the extra. You have to do way above the extra. But you just come with that mindset of, I just need results. So I'm telling people, like, when I come and see those kind of things that have stolen the raps, I just laugh and I'm like, why do these people think that they can stop me? I mean, at what point do they think that I'll really give up? Because I keep on, like, even entertainment things, right? At times when I'll sign artists, and then I all the artists have left. I had a bunch of dancers that have left, and then they come and meet me somewhere. They see, boss man, you're still doing this entertainment thing. I'm like, I told you guys, and I always tell everybody I work with, I'm like, until the day you hear that I'm dead and you hear my funeral announcement on the radio, just know that all these dreams which I told you guys about, they will stay alive. I'll keep pushing each and every one of these dreams. I might have to slow down for 2 years to go and work some more money here to come and put here, or work there and put here. But none of these dreams are dying till I'm dead. So don't be surprised after 2 years.
Because the truth is,
you see me some entertainment thing, I'll always be there.
The truth is, a vision, like, let me not just go with visionary. Like, you actually know what a fully oiled or functional machine can actually generate. That's why you're trying to build that machine. That's why we are trying to build that machine. Like I said, I decided to stop Molitown music because I realized I'm fighting the people I'm trying to help.
Exactly.
That was the reason I stopped it. I even made enemies in the entertainment industry up to today that I haven't mended, and I don't see any reason why I should mend it. You see, I don't see any reason why I should mend it. Like, that's one of the reasons why. Who said that? Dima, you get which problem you and Stanley now? Like I said, even his own pride. I don't see any reason why I should mend that relationship, because he doesn't put money in my pocket. What I was doing was trying to.
I don't even feel like certain things, time will just make them work out. So there are certain people that just look at them and like, you know what? When we all get to a level that you see that, because now you're maybe clouded by, you are trying to hustle, you need the food, you need your rent, you need money in your account. When we all get to a level where you see that, this man's really trying to help me. We'll not need to explain ourselves again.
Yeah, you even get to the point where you see that, that man would have given me that money for that rent. You see, and I messed up. You understand? Yeah, so the things we are trying to build are things that, one, will facilitate and innovate, let's just say, cash flow in Cameroon and the industry. We know what those things can generate. You know, we know what those things can generate. That's why you see us trying to, let's just say, when it breaks this way, we try to mend it and move forward. When it breaks this way, we try to mend it. Because I stopped Molitown music, I think it was 2018 or 20, something like that. And see, I'm coming back with a new platform now in 2021.
Yeah.
You understand? Because I've sat back and I realized that, okay, right now, I have Molitown management. I'm managing artists now, and I see them facing the same problems these guys were facing way back in 2013, 14, 15, 16. They are still facing the same problem now. And we were almost, let me just say, I was 40% towards solving that problem with Molitown music. But just because of the stress it was giving me, I decided to put it down. You know, because of the stress these guys were giving me. Because of the call out they were giving me on Facebook, because of the plot they were planning to beat me up on if I come to Cameroon, like all these things, you know, it was just like, fuck am I trying to do, man? I'm not Santa Claus.
I can imagine.
You know, but this one now, I'm trying to do this one because this way I'm trying to see how they'll say I'm still making millions of their music, because I told them, you can license your song through Believe Music, because most of these guys distribute through Believe. Distribute through Believe, okay? When you put it on YouTube, the revenue you get from YouTube is little or nothing. And still, Cameroonians can't have, like, when you distribute your songs on YouTube, it's difficult for them to download it. And even if they use apps or YouTube to download it, when you download a video as MP3, the quality is not the same as you get the actual audio file.
True.
Yeah, so this is one of the things I'm trying to educate these guys and go through, like, the platform I'm trying to build up now. And like, Echo is fucking amazing. I'm listening to music through Echo. I have it now on my phone. You know, I'm streaming through Echo now, and I like the interface. You know, so these are platforms, like things that we are trying to put in place and things which we are trying to build up that because of the people we are trying to work with or the infrastructure we are trying to build to make sure we have a lucrative unit or a lucrative machine in Cameroon, we have a lot which we are fighting against still in the same country.
And as I said, right, everybody, that's why I encourage those who have lived in Cameroon before, who are not going to be so disappointed or destroyed by this mentality or this challenge. If you have been here before, you know your people.
Yeah.
Yes. See, Amanda is a wish man. There's no other wish man coming from another place.
And the reason we are struggling, or I'm struggling to fix that machine is because I know even if like cars, house, or anything we have this way, we are not going to keep those things here. We still need have to Cameroon. You know, those things will still need to go to Cameroon, and those things will need the same structure and the same units that you use here to make these things function.
It's even more frustrating when you have been out there like for 20 years. You're used to Uber Eats. Uber brings your food to the house.
Exactly.
Streaming live. And then you have to come back to Cameroon and you don't have those things. Who was to build those things in Cameroon?
To be very honest, that's one of the things I think about before coming to Cameroon. Like, I just order food and they bring it to my door. I think we were here one day live here and I just told you they rang my doorbell. I think my food is here.
Exactly.
My food is here and the internet here is super fast.
I just keep on telling my people, like, man, this life is good, but till I can see this life back in Cameroon, I'll never be contented.
That's why we are trying to build it, try to make this structure in place. Because this 50 I'm giving it's no money compared to what will be circulating in the industry once this structure is in place.
It's standing. Yeah, I can imagine.
It's nothing compared to what everybody will get a piece of when the whole thing is solid.
But nobody is looking at that right now.
Nobody. Everybody wants to see how much the small one is coming to me, and the next one is, oh, the thing is too much. He's a Cameroonian. Are you sure that Cameroonian really wants to give us that amount? You know? And I believe and I know if it was a foreign person that actually made that offer, guys would be surging towards it. Guys would just be running
and they have little or no challenge.
You understand? But I just the reason I'm using my image or my face to do
still frozen now. Is it still frozen?
Yeah, it is.
Wow, this thing choose to freeze only when we're about to.
No, I think it's back.
Okay.
Yeah, it's back.
It's back.
Yep.
Okay. So maybe
So guys, sorry for
so maybe
that.
maybe just share that thing like for the last 10 minutes. Let's see if anybody joins. If not, we round up.
Yeah. So that's the Zoom link. Anybody who wants to join us to contribute or say anything they have in their on their mind or concerning the topic, you can join. Okay, the Zoom link is there. So like the video and yeah. What is the problem that investors face when they come to Cameroon? Or do you know any problem? Or do you know anything, any mindset, things that we need to change in the industry? You know.
So as I was going in that direction of like, I feel like solution-oriented, the diaspora has a big role to play. They need to come in and then help to build those structures. Because like the typical businessman does not want to come and start attending your family meeting. It is you, the Cameroonian, to come and do the family meeting. So till we have set up those structures, then those bigger people will start coming in. The MTNs, the big endorsements will come in. Yeah. But MTN is going to be in Cameroon and still bring artists to Nigeria because they don't want to get into this mess. They see it every day. I tell people like, at times even the things we are doing on Facebook, we think it's just jokes and we are playing around with our friends. But those guys on MTN are on that Facebook with us. They are seeing those things. They are seeing those quarrels. They are seeing those contracts being breached in broad daylight. They are seeing artists being arrested in a very helpless way. There's nothing you can do about this arrest. And it's wondering like, so if I endorse this guy and we have to do like 6 concerts across the country and now he's arrested, I don't even know where to go to. I don't know what he has done. I don't know who to talk to. So it just, so till we have cleaned up the house, then visitors will come to our house. But till then, we are left in our house and our family.
Yeah, you said the diaspora, even us trying to come down there and fix all those things, the guys are not even giving us an easy time to fix it. You know, having
but we don't expect it to be easy, but you're not supposed to give up though.
Yeah, okay.
Because you are coming with a sense of duty. MTN is coming with a sense of profit and business. But you are coming with a sense of duty added to your business. So even if it's tough, you are not to give up. But I don't expect them to insist if they're having challenges, and there are many other countries they can go to. So why come to a country where no structures, no policies to accompany your business? So I think the diaspora is, for me, that's the best, because the government, I'm not too sure how much we can count on them.
I just know, and that's why I'm championing platforms like Echo, and the new one I'm building is that we need to take the power away from that old system that existed, that old unit infrastructure that existed, that is still greedy and doesn't want to give it up. Let's build ours from scratch and build it up so it gets to a point that we have the leverage that we don't even need. Because when most of these guys, they see, when they see that, okay, that's the new trend, that's the way this thing goes, they reach out to those new trends and these new things that people go to. They don't have to go through that, the old way, the way they know, okay, if you want to reach this community or get to this country, you have to go through that authority, or you need to go through all that. That's why we are trying to build what we are building now. No, the thing is not really easy. I know the same headache I'm receiving is the same headache you are getting. We're trying to fix some of this shit this generational shit that has been put in Cameroon. Okay,
it's our shit to fix. It's either our fathers or our grandfathers that put the shit there.
Okay, so I think we should round up because I think nobody is coming in. Let's just
cool.
Yeah. So any closing remarks?
Yeah, so for me, most of what I'll just be summarizing what I've said. We all know these problems we are facing, be it structural, policy-wise, human resource-wise, capital-wise. We know all of those challenges. And I feel like the X factor lies in the diaspora. The diaspora can come with certain quality human resource. It can come with the how can I call it, the capital. Most of the time, even the people from the diaspora have some good connects too, which they can use and leverage to try to get some of these policies and these structures in place. It's true they'll get stuck, but we saw maybe the Diango was chased because they said it was dual nationality. But when they tried that way to fix, it could not work. So there's a certain point where if you are too rich, too strong, or depending on who you know, some of those messed up things in the system cannot mess with you. So I feel like the diaspora just needs to keep knocking that door. The stronger they get, the better they get. And then when it works, it's going to be fine for everybody. Rather than funding, you know who, and messing up things even more for us here.
Yeah. Instead of, rather than feeding them fat and giving them more power and leverage. Yeah. Okay. So on my end, I'll just say, we just have to strategize more, because that's what I've been doing more. Just strategizing, see what I can do, build the small pieces that I can build, and maybe make it work, or make it efficient enough that I can maybe be comfortable enough. That's why most of the time when we talked about even Jovi, I'm saying maybe he has built his small unit which he feel comfortable in, his small structure that he's comfortable with, and maybe breaking or going through, he has seen that maybe is stressful enough for him to chase that he has like maybe he has a comfortable space which is in that is sustainable for him, and he doesn't want to move out of it. I believe sometimes some people take some decisions because of all these things.
Well, but if he's not thinking about him, he's thinking about us, he should think above that. Although I recall when I came back to Cameroon, I told my uncle, like, I've set a deadline where if things don't start moving for me in Cameroon, I'll surely go back. But I thought maybe that was just talking out of the frustration, but I don't think I was really willing to go back to. So when you come with that mindset of I'm going to fix this no matter what, I mean, like, it's fix this or die trying. It's no joke about it. So
when
they are fighting, he knows who I'm here in Boya.
I have a deadline when I come to Cameroon. Like the last time I came, I had a 6-month deadline, and after that 6 months,
I'm out of here. I'm done or not done, I'm out.
Yeah, I have a 6-month deadline. I fix the things, put the things in place which I think I can handle from our side, and the other ones which
Yeah.
I'm trying to fix that are giving me a hard time, I'll just say, you know what, fuck it,
To
scrap.
God be the glory.
Yeah, and I'll scrap. So yeah, when I come back to Cameroon, I'll see. But
No,
mine,
I
my
just feel
time
like
limit is always 6 months.
as long as people are optimistic, what really gets me pissed off is like, I remember like the last 2 times I've gone down to South Africa for my vacation, I recall I usually meet with a lot of young people because I have like my younger brother is there, and then I know 1 or 2 young people there. And when I'm talking with them, and then they have a very pessimistic opinion of Cameroon, I'm like, that's what really breaks me down. But
And
nothing
they
in
are
Cameroon breaks me
Cameroonians.
down. Yes,
And they are
but when people
Cameroonians.
that I'm hoping that, okay, they are going to come and join to push more, and the more of us we come back here with the ideas and the capital and the technical know-how, the more we can push this thing. So when I hear them talking like that, I'm like, they're like, Massa, that's another country, we need the Kawi. Those kind of things really make me feel like, these people I'm hoping will come to help us are like, they've given up, what's up? So that's what really breaks me. It's not the Cameroon. Cameroon will keep on doing Cameroon. I'm not worried about that one. And I'll keep on doing me. They will die here.
Okay. So, yep. This episode of Contrast Podcast was an episode of 2 investors venting their frustration on how difficult Cameroon is making it